The story begins with people exclaiming that all this girl does is eat, sleep, and study, labeling her life as monotonous. Unbeknownst to them, she finds happiness in this routine, as excelling academically is her forte. Abruptly, a teacher announces 50% and she goes on to distribute exam results, despite the easily available tutors after school. Students rarely make use of them. She contemplates not needing it, having dedicated an entire week to studying for what she considered a straightforward exam, expecting at least an 85%. Later, at the playground, her friend affirms a 68%, and she makes the assumption that nobody is picking up their books. She knows she reads, even though she doesn't know the others. She stayed up late multiple times to ensure she didn't miss anything. So much for getting the university scholarship, given their high income. Instead, she'll merely work as a stripper. Rika suggests there are numerous other options for earning a living, urging Shin-Ae to consider ending her no-dating attitude, believing a man could take care of her. Shin-Ae responds, highlighting that things don't work that way these days, emphasizing the importance of everyone contributing their fair share. She dismisses the idea that whining can fix anything, signaling a shift in societal expectations from a decade ago that might have been acceptable. The bell rings, signaling the end of lunch. After class, Rika invites them for burgers, covering the cost. Shin-Ae naturally accepts, questioning why she would refuse such an offer. Maya confirms they'll meet outside her classroom after school, and they head back to class. While in class, Shin-Ae ponders the rising cost of college. She questions the feasibility of working a full-time job as a high school student and reflects on the financial challenges. A year of part-time work at minimum wage barely covers one semester of college expenses. The idea of taking a semester off to accumulate savings crosses her mind, but she doubts her father would approve. The notion of becoming a housewife doesn't appeal to her, not that she's against dating, marriage, or love. All she wants is to avoid the post-separation struggles her father faced, not to mention the suffering endured by the kids. She nods off, lost in thoughts about her family's history, only to be abruptly brought back by a blonde boy with blue eyes observing her from a distance. The captivating story unfolds as Shin-Ae gracefully declines the boy's proposal with a flower and walks away. At the burger place, her friend thinks her response was too severe, suggesting she could have handled it more tactfully. Shin-Ae firmly states that rejection is rejection, making no exceptions. She doesn't give a damn. Her friends argue that, besides being German, he was just too cute. Shin-Ae asserts that his nationality doesn't matter. He's still a human, with her hands full between her cat and other responsibilities. She's not interested in romantic entanglements. Shin-Ae finds herself intrigued once more by the incident with the German boy who earnestly proposed to her. Despite his pleas, she refused to answer and walked away. The waiter appears and asks if they would like anything to drink. Maya orders water, Rika responds same here, and Shin-Ae opts for orange soda. The waiter asks they all set to place orders. Maya approves Hawaiian burgers, Rika opts for a veggie burger, and Shin-Ae amusingly declares she might have a heart attack, only to be reassured by the waiter that there are 2 kilograms of beef in it. Shin-Ae is aware and excited. The story takes an interesting turn as Rika shows her mask for the upcoming masquerade party, and Maya asks for Shin-Ae's opinion, to which she responds that it's adorable. When asked about the purpose of the party, Rika reveals it's for the company her dad works for, with this year's theme being masquerade. Shin-Ae expresses her disinterest in parties, preferring to stay at home, but Rika tempts her with the promise of free 5-star food from the prestigious Harahara company, known for their high-quality offerings like wagyu steaks, duck foie gras, and caviar. Shin-Ae, enticed by the prospect of free gourmet food, decides to attend. Suddenly, Shin-Ae notices the presence of the German boy and other schoolmates, prompting her to cover her face. Her friends inquire about her strange behavior, and she reveals the guy she rejected earlier is present. Meanwhile, the German boy's friends assure him that he'll get over Shin-Ae, and suggest introducing him to other attractive women. The waiter informs the boys that their server will arrive soon. However, things take an unpleasant turn when the German boy's friend makes derogatory comments about Shin-Ae's appearance, insinuating that she looks like a pig and is unattractive. Angry at the disrespect towards her friends, Shin-Ae throws her orange soda at the boy, prompting chaos. She was aiming at his friend. The boy who was struck responds, "It's okay, but it sucks that his jacket got ruined." Shin-Ae gives him the order to give his jacket to her. She will clean up this mess. She places the jacket down on the table and presses it firmly. Suddenly she started punching it out of nowhere. Her friends let out a scream, grabbed her to get away, and asked her why she was punching. Before she causes further embarrassment to any of them, they are departing. However, Shin-Ae claims she didn't receive her burger. She is told to forget about the burger by May. The food at the Harahara party tomorrow is much better. As she sprints away, Shin-Ae gives one of the boys a fierce glare. The boy who was struck gave the order to release them. It's alright. Besides, most of the soda is gone. The biased friend asks he heard one of them right. The boy with orange hair responds that she will also be attending the Harahara party. He is eager. Those gatherings were started to get boring. The interesting story unfolds as Shin-Ae was reading comics and cozily laying on the bed at night. She asked if there was anything similar to Bathhuman, not showing any reaction to the comic she was reading. Her friend replies that she ought to be getting ready instead of reading comics. She replies, "These guys are taking way too long." She's ready. Her friend replies this isn't the kind of party where leggings are appropriate. She must put on some clothes. Shin-Ae responds that she is only interested in the food. Wearing a dress as tight as theirs will limit her ability to eat. In addition, she doesn't have any dresses. Pants indefinitely. Maya abruptly shoves a dress in her face and tells her to take off her clothes. As they arrive at the Harahara Convention Center, it's time for them to put on their masks. Shin-Ae asks why she is the center of attention for everyone. It's because she was wearing a facial mask. Rika scolds her for wearing this mask and further says these people who get invited to the Harahara party. Let's just say that many of these guys are from wealthy households. Shin-Ae asks how they managed to make it. The reason for this is that Rika's father has worked for the company from the beginning. As a token of gratitude for all of his hard work, her family is frequently invited. She might become enraged by a few entitled brats here and there, recall the events of yesterday at the burger place. Either way, she knew that guy's uniform. He attends a very esteemed school, and she know what? The cost of the uniform was $10,000. Hopefully, he won't demand payment from her for any harm caused. Try not to take any hasty decisions. She'll bet that many of the people are wearing clothes that cost as much, if not more. Shin-Ae replies, she'll be alright. She will be at ease as long as she gets her food. Rika affirms let's go downstairs, that's the main area of enjoyment. Shin-Ae asks can't they go eat first? Rika responds we'll get the food later, let's go dancing now. Upon arriving, Rika asks why don't these guys dance? Shin-Ae responds, and she'll just observe. Rika tries to persuade her, but she refuses. Shin-Ae wonders if it's strange to consider that staying at home is more of her idea of fun than this. It's good that Maya and Rika are at least having fun. The mask makes her face perspire profusely as she takes off the mask. She suddenly finds herself surrounded by a group of guys who are dancing, so she flees. She collides with one of the guys as she runs. She feels hurt. The guy asks is she okay? Shin-Ae responds it's okay. She quickly leaves. When she eventually makes it out of that room, she is in the buffet hall. She is experimenting with everything they have to offer. She quickly grabs the last tiramisu after glancing at it abruptly since she has never had any. While strolling with a full plate, one man purposely trips Shin-Ae by purposely moving his leg a little. Shin-Ae was furious by that act. The captivating tale unfolds as Shin-Ae wonders about the man's hairstyle, noting that he looks like a beautiful blue-eyed individual. Suddenly, he grabs the tiramisu, and Shin-Ae, angered, confronts him, accusing him of tripping her and claiming that the tiramisu is hers. She demands he return it. The man responds sarcastically, mocking her outfit and suggesting she'll be fine without the cake, questioning how she even got invited to the party. In a fit of rage, Shin-Ae slams a glass of coffee on the man's back, aiming for his mouth but hitting him elsewhere. The man reveals that his suit is a custom Dolce de Leche, emphasizing its high value. Upon learning that the jacket alone costs $10,000, Shin-Ae realizes she has made a costly mistake. She abruptly leaves the scene, seeking refuge in another room, hoping the man stays outside the ballroom. Shin-Ae finds herself feeling frustrated at the party and deciding to call Rika for a way out. Rika, still at the dance hall, answers the phone, and Shin-Ae, without mincing words, asks if they can go home. Rika questions the abrupt request, mentioning it's only been 2 hours since they arrived. Shin-Ae, irritated, explains she's at the ballroom upstairs and hasn't eaten yet. Rika instructs her to go to the dining hall without them, as she and Maya will be dancing a little while longer. As Shin-Ae contemplates her situation, Tim Hiddleston catches her eye, prompting Rika to end the call abruptly. Shin-Ae, now furious, tries to call again, but the automated voice message system indicates Rika isn't picking up. In frustration, the person with orange hair approaches, offering assistance and a ride. Shin-Ae, misunderstanding, runs away while calling him a perv. The man clarifies, but Shin-Ae arrives at another room, reflecting on the uncomfortable encounters at the party. Attempting to call Rika again, Shin-Ae hopes she picks up, Confused by a friend's question about what she wants, she recalls receiving 3 calls from Rika. The discussion about Mr. Hurdleston and how they'll pay for the event leaves Shin-Ae perplexed. Suddenly, the man with orange hair reappears, commenting on her speed and expressing that he wasn't allowed to defend himself. From the ballroom, Shin-Ae addresses him as a pervert, warning him to stay away or she'll call the police, labeling him a stalker. The man makes an effort to soothe Shin-Ae, assuring her that he isn't pursuing her. Despite his attempt to clarify, Shin-Ae remains convinced he's following her. When asked about his intentions, the man expresses a desire to assist her, explaining that he attends the party every year for political reasons, enduring false smiles and insincere connections. Bored with the repetitive nature of the event, he genuinely wants to help. Shin-Ae questions why he would want to help her, pointing out that there's seemingly nothing in it for him. The man admits he's simply bored and tired of the superficiality of the party. He mentions that she isn't even paying attention to him. Shin-Ae responds, "Alright, don't take this the wrong way." But she doesn't give a damn if he's the Prime Minister's son or just some random food mart cashier. He is a human first, and people kinda suck, so bye. The man was perplexed. Shin-Ae hopes that after what she told him, he will no longer follow her. Here we have the restroom. There, she can hide while Maya and Rika have fun. Abruptly, the man stands up once more. Shin-Ae furiously asks why is he still following her. The man responds when he said he wanted to help, he meant it. So here he is. Shin-Ae wonders what is wrong with this guy. He's not going to give up. Shin-Ae asks, "Okay, that's fine. Tell her about this help he's offering." The man replies first, he was thinking of calling a cab and paying for it, and second, prank her friends as payback for ignoring her. Shin-Ae asks pranks, she's in.